Turnpike Troubadours are one of my favorite all-time country music bands. Country music is a very iffy topic to talk about today with a lot of people. You either love it or you hate it, and most people don't like to switch what side they're on. It's country music is classified in a bunch of different things, and different people have different views on what should be country and what should not be country. I myself am not a fan of the new country or the bro country as they call it, and I have many opinions about that, but the point of this speech is not to change you to believe in one thing or the other. It's just to tell you about the history of the Turnpike Troubadours. The Troubadours are perfect for a small town like Halstead. They started off really small and haven't forgot their roots, and they don't have any major record deals, and the lyrics and meanings of their song are perfect for small town vibes. That's like where they grew up, and they understand how it's different than living in a big city. One of the first places the Troubadours started was Cain's Ballroom. And if you've never heard of Cain's Ballroom, it's a little venue in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And even though it's really small, it's got a ton of history, and a ton of famous people played there, especially like older country singers. There's a lot of them who've been there. They started, and they were like the opening act for the opening act at Cain's Ballroom. They played on a little sideshow, and not very many people paid to go see them. From that point, they kind of had to go around the country, and especially Oklahoma, because that's where they're from. They went around Oklahoma a lot and played at a bunch of small places, and they had to play like other people's famous songs so they could dance and like have fun. And Evan Felker said that Evan Felker is their lead singer. He said that they slowly added in their own music so that people would keep coming back, and then they'd finally learn their music and be able to dance and have fun with that. The Troubadours wanted to keep their own sound because they thought it was special, and they didn't want to go to a record label because they wanted to keep the rights to their song. So that's why they made their own record label, the Bossier City Records. And Evan Felker said it would be nice to have signed a big deal and have the money guaranteed, but he didn't want people to take his stuff away from him, and he wanted to keep his sound no matter what they did with money or anything like that. He didn't want them to change the sound to have people quote unquote like it better. John Steinbeck says, "There's not ever been a really brilliant co-write. All the brilliant stuff comes from one mind and one hand." And Evan Felker believes this like really true. And he thinks that writing songs is the most important part of his business, and everything else is second. So this is why a lot of his songs have good meaning, and all of his lyrics kind of coincide with average people living in small towns, and they can really understand it, and it's kind of cool for them to be able to sing about stuff that they know about and like they can relate to. That's what makes his music so special. Also in his songs, he uses the same characters in his lyrics like throughout different songs. So for example, he has a bunch of different songs about this couple who has songs about them getting together and being in love, and then he has songs about their house burning down actually, and then he has some songs about his wife leaving him, and then songs about how after she left he was sad and stuff like that. And it's really cool to see the transition of the characters throughout the song. Evan Felker said, "I really like music that can be played on the back porch somewhere, and I want that to be the soul of our music." And I think that's mainly like that speaks for the Turnpike Troubadours, and I think it's awesome that they haven't forgotten where they've came from, and they've kept their own unique sound no matter what like money has to do with it or anything like that. They also I also consider them a red dirt country band, which is kind of a newer, different type of country, not considered like old western, but they also have a lot of like kind of a rock and roll feel in some of their songs, and I think that could change the minds of a lot of people who hate country music. If they listen to some of this, they might not think it's too bad. So, and even though a lot of people don't like it, I would still highly recommend it. And especially just listening to the lyrics, like you can look them up or just listen to the songs. I think a lot of people could have a feel for it and understand it. And it's also really cool because they've taken the path less traveled. They haven't been in it for the money. They've been in it for the writing songs and doing what they love. And unfortunately, they've had some bad turn of events and they're not playing together anymore, which is a really sad deal. And I hope someday they might be able to come back. And I think they would have some really cool songs to write about when they come back, but hopefully they'd come back. And you can still find their music anywhere and get that old time feeling like before, which was one of their songs. In the meantime, I'm going to Quit While I'm Ahead, which is another one of their songs, and I'm out.
Well, I won't lie and say I didn't think the good ones all were taken, since there ain't no peaches falling from the tree that I've been shaking, and it's solitary sleeping in this bed that I've been making. Well, maybe I should quit while I'm ahead.
I got all my information from Rolling Stone magazine and AXS, and I also watched a lot of interviews with Evan Felker, and I've read a lot of the lyrics and listened to a lot of lyrics that give a deeper story of the Turnpike Troubadours.